You know what sucks? Cable TV. Before I get into the thievery and idiocracy of cable providers, I want to give some background information. Before watching content on the internet became a viable option such as YouTube, Hulu, and Netflix, we were stuck having to watch shows and movies on television. These services existed before the 2010s and started back in the mid-2000s, however they didn't catch on until a few years later since internet speeds back then were unreliable and slower than Peter Griffin trying to travel up a hill. Before streaming, what was on, unless you had a DVR. You either were unlucky and had antenna TV, or were more fortunate and had cable or satellite. There was literally nothing to watch on antenna TV except for adult animated shows that aired on Sunday nights on Fox. Saturday morning cartoons and PBS Kids were also pretty good if you were younger, but back then on cable there was much more variety and looser guidelines. All the cost was usually an affordable $60. There was AMC, FX, MTV, Comedy Central, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Boomerang, History Channel, The Weather Channel, G4 which I talked about a few videos ago, and much more. It was pretty decent for a few decades up until the mid-2010s when it went more downhill than a ski resort slope. The cost of price hikes, hidden fees, and overall scummy business tactics really pushed people to switch over to streaming only. It was even reported that some companies like Comcast would bribe you to stay with special offers and discounts to get you to not cancel your subscription. They also own a monopoly over cable wires in towns, counties, and even entire states. In my county, the only cable and internet providers available are Comcast and Verizon. Not to mention cable providers given to companies that own local channels like Nexstar, unfairly demanding higher fees, which in turn causes the cable bill to rise exponentially. You know how every few years you see Viacom have some campaign to convince people to act like Karens and call their cable company providers to keep their channels because of carriage disputes, when in reality it's Viacom's fault for charging a ridiculous rate for these services to carry their channels. Nowadays I believe the average cable bill is like $150 to $200, which is pretty expensive. They sneak in all sorts of fees such as local broadcast fees, sports fees, carriage fees, and so on. They also jack up the bill every year or so just for the hell of it, since they know people don't have a choice. Why isn't there an option just to choose the channel you want and watch for it for a cheaper price? Also on a side note, Comcast and Xfinity also doesn't carry Boomerang, since they have a grudge against Warner Brothers for reasons I don't know, which is pretty unfair. Even the channels themselves got worse, repeating the same few shows over and over and over again all day with little to no variety. For example, MTV only plays Ridiculousness all day long and Cartoon Network only plays Teen Titans Go all day long as well. A wise man once said in the future there'll be 100 TV channels but nothing to watch. I honestly don't see what's so hard about channels airing older content too and having a little bit of variety. You don't need new shows all the time. A theory is that it will cost them more to air classic shows since they'll get higher taxes for higher viewership, but I'm not sure about this. Don't even remind me about the commercials. What is the point of paying well over $100 a month just to watch ads? If you're paying up the ass, you should at least be ad-free. They also repeat the same commercials over and over and over again to drive you insane. If you're poor, commercials are redundant and shouldn't appear in the first place since you can't afford to advertise product. It just doesn't make sense. Fast forward to today, and there are dozens more better alternatives such as streaming services, video sharing sites, piracy, and even antenna TV improved with the addition of digital subchannels such as MeTV and Defy TV. And looking at the future, I think cable is only going to be around until maybe 2030, possibly 2050 at the latest, before streaming is the only option. Some cable providers are gradually transitioning to IPTV services like DirecTV, WOW, Frontier, and Sparklight Cable are soon only offering new customers YouTube TV instead of traditional cable. New generations like millennials starting to raise families are finding alternatives to cable TV, and older generations like boomers that still watch it are gradually cutting the cord. Less than half of the people living in the US have a subscription anymore, so thank God it's dying. It's the cable provider's own fault and they shot themselves in the foot. Maybe they'll even make cable channels available on antenna if this goes on, that would be awesome. I just hope internet as a whole doesn't suffer the same fate as cable where the unreasonably high cost and lack of variety and option kills it. They know people will pay any price to continue having the internet. It's pretty essential nowadays for almost everything, ranging from keeping contact with others to conducting business. You are better off only getting internet these days to watch YouTube and pirate all other content not available for free, and that is why cable sucks. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, notify, and check out other videos on this channel.